Hi, my name is Dr. Evelyn. I'm a Jawad trained teacher and also a tutor on the accredited Jawad belly dance training courses. In this video, I want to go over some of the technique for vertical figures of 8 going up. Vertical figures of 8 are these ones. Your hips can go horizontally and vertically, as well as three-dimensionally, and there are training videos on these. The one we're going to focus on now is where the hip goes down, up, down, out and up. For this move, I always believe it's very important that you make sure you use your core and protect your lower back. So even though tucking under, being nice and tall, having soft knees is standard belly dance posture, you might want to practice this move up against the mirror if it's new for you. That way you can feel whether you're letting your tailbone go as you're actually conducting the move. So if you're standing up feeling your back up against the wall, your feet will be a tiny bit away because there has to be room for your bum. And making sure you're tucking under that 30% or so that's perfect for you. Then by doing the move, you should be able to still feel your back up against the wall. If you feel you're pushing out at any point, you need to address that down here. So what do the hips do? Well, let's get the posture right. Your hip bones are the ones that can produce the move, so you need to have your knees under that and your ankles under that. For most people, that would mean 2 wrists in between, roughly, minus a tiny bit. Once that's comfortable, you can put your hands on your hip bones to really feel the move. What we're going to do is we're going to bend one knee and then we're going to shift the weight out to that leg and push the hip out to the side. And then we're going to pull the hip up and in using our oblique muscles here. So we're going to pull it up and back into where it needs to be in order to be aligned. Now this hip's higher up than this one, so we can do a similar thing on the other hip. We can allow the knee to bend a tiny bit. We can shift our hip out to the side. And now we need to transfer the weight on our feet. And then we can lift the hip using our obliques back in and up. So each hip bone is creating a circle. The circle goes down, out and up. And on the other one, down, out and up. They meet in the middle and create a vertical figure of 8. So if you had pencils mounted on to your hip belt and your hip bones and you were up against the wall, you would be drawing a figure of 8 on that wall. Now for this move, it's very important that you are like in double glazing, and the same goes for the vertical figures of 8 that goes down, Maya, which there's a separate training video on. You want to make sure that there's no twist in your hips, at least not to start with, so that you are pushing out to the side and straight back up again and not allowing your hips to twist as you're doing this, kind of making a mixture between a horizontal and a vertical figure of 8. Now there is a move for that, but that comes further down the line. So if this move is new to you, this is the basic, this is the core, and that's what you need to drill. So with our back to the camera, you can follow me in the mirror. We're going to have soft knees, we're going to have the tailbone melting down, and we're going to allow that knee to bend, pushing the hip down, out and up, down, out and up, down, out and up, and down, out and up. We want to try and keep the top half of our body nice and isolated. So we're nice and lifted, allowing for that movement to happen underneath our rib cage. The feet can come off. It's a bit like being on a stepping machine, going up and up and up and up. And all the time, check. Have you let go of that tailbone? Are you doing it out here? Or is it still underneath yourself? The hands can be anywhere. Could be here, framing the move. Could be here. A bit like a teapot. Could be here, more of a vintage style. As you get more comfortable with the move and your muscles get stronger, you can also keep your heels in the floor and allow your knees to kind of be the lever for the movement in your hips. Once you do it this way, you might find you can use your glutes more to kind of squeeze up on the side, and it becomes a more muscular, more stronger move, and not as maybe light as this one can be with the heels coming off. Now let's try that with a bit of music. We'll get our posture first of all, nice and tall, tailbone down. These are the hip bones. These are the ones that create the move. Down, out and up, down, out and up, down, out and up. You can have framing hands, penguin arms. Can be a little teapot. Have arm underneath. And again, we can keep the heels on the floor. You can play around with the speed, going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. With the heels coming off, feeling comfortable and in control, you can start taking your foot off. You have to think a bit like a cat. It has to be very soft and sneaky, okay? So letting go very gently of that floor so that it doesn't become jumpy. And then we can start traveling with it in any direction that we want. Again, trying to keep your hips square on so there's no twisting going on. If you're twisting, this happens. We want it just a pure technique for this, so very much as if you are stuck in double glazing. And that's some of the technique for a basic vertical figure of 8. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching.